Good morning and welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your schedules to join us today for this session on the sandwich generation, balancing your personal life with the needs of your older parents or loved ones. My name is Stephanie White. I'm the benefits assistant on the BEWell team here in Virginia Beach. Before we get started with our session today, I'd like to quickly go over our BEWell offerings for anyone who's new to our program. Personify Health is our incentivizing platform, which is an easy and stress-free way you can earn up to $500 a year for staying on top of your health and participating in a variety of activities like getting your routine screenings, completing workouts with Wellbeats, tracking steps, and so much more. Also available free through Personify Health, you can access Kaya Health and the X program. Kaya Health is a digital musculoskeletal program that is designed to help you manage muscle and joint pain from the comfort of your own home. And the X program is a personalized and convenient digital quit tobacco program built in collaboration with the Mayo Clinic that helps members beat their addiction and live tobacco free, whether you smoke, vape, dip, or chew. The disease management programs are available if you're enrolled in Centera health plans and have been diagnosed with diabetes, coronary artery disease, congestive heart failure, asthma, or COPD. Diagnosed employees have access to a case management team that will help you better manage your condition. If you've been diagnosed with a rare or chronic condition, such as rheumatoid arthritis or cystic fibrosis or Crohn's disease, and you're enrolled in Centera health plans, you can receive help and support for your specific needs as well through Centera health plans case management. Expectant mothers enrolled in Centera health plans also have access to receive guidance and support through their pregnancy and postpartum with our Partners in Pregnancy program. Oops, sorry. Let's try this again. Yeah. Guidance Resources is a robust employee assistance program available to all active employees and members of their household. The program offers 5 short-term counseling sessions per concern per year, and sessions are free and confidential for matters like relationship conflicts or workplace concerns or grieving the loss of a loved one. They offer an array of additional services, including work-life solutions that help you manage life's everyday challenges by help you find anything from party venues to vacation plans, adult caretakers to child daycare centers, financial resources, and even legal guidance. Guidance Resources also offers well-being coaching, and employees can speak with a coach to help you regain balance and build resilience so you can feel your best, both at work and at home. Certified coaches will work with you one-on-one and provide confidential, practical support to help reduce obstacles, manage stress, and develop strategies for a healthier and more balanced life. Wonder Health is our science-based and clinically proven digital weight management program. It teaches you the skills to help you lose weight while still enjoying the foods you love. The application period for the program is quarterly, and our next one opens really soon on August 31st. But you can add yourself to the waitlist now to be notified of the application period by visiting wonderhealth.com/BeWell, and that's Wonder without an E. We also have our BeWell champions. They're an extension of our BeWell team, and they serve their specific work locations by promoting our initiatives and programs. We have about 140 champions throughout the city and schools, so if you're unsure who the champion is at your workplace, or if you'd like to recommend someone or apply yourself, you can visit our website or select Meet Your BeWell Champions on the benefits page in the Personify Health app for more details. BeWell offers events and webinars just like this one, plus our mobile Mammo van, which travels throughout the city for convenient access, as well as flu vaccine clinics every fall, and quarterly health screenings where you can check on your health and speak to a health educator about nutrition. Our flu vaccine clinics will kick off on October 16th with our first at Central Library, and our next health screening will be on November 19th at Plaza Annex. BeWell also partners with Centera Community Care to offer convenient access to medical care through the Centera Mobile Care Van, where all members enrolled in a Virginia Beach City or Schools health plan can receive a variety of services from primary care to sick visits, routine labs, testing, and more. The next mobile care visit will be on Tuesday, September 15th at Plaza Annex. All of the information, including a list of events and registration links, is available on our website, benefitsatthebeach.com/s/wellness. If you're a leader or a manager, you also have a resource available on our website from the main BEWell drop-down menu. Just select Leadership Resources to see all the ways BEWell can help you create a culture of wellness at your worksite. Many of our programs and events are an opportunity to earn points for Personify Health, and you can redeem those points for cash rewards. For attending today's session, you're going to be rewarded with 300 points, and we'll send an email within about a week with an electronic voucher code. While points and cash rewards are great, we feel the benefits of our programs vastly exceed the money earning opportunity. It's about providing tools to help you develop healthier habits and live healthier lives. If you have any questions about any of our programs, feel free to reach out. You can reach us at by email at bewell@vbschools.com or by calling 757-263-1060 and selecting option 2. Thank you all again for being here, and it's my pleasure to pass the mic to our speaker today, Marcy.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for joining our session today on the sandwich generation, balancing your personal life with the needs of your elderly parent. We will go ahead and get our recording started and let's dive into the sandwich generation, balancing your personal life with the needs of your elderly parents. So I want to sort of set the scene for you. Let's imagine, right, school has either has or will soon get started. So you are in your kitchen packing your kids' lunches, you're rushing to get out the door and on your way to work. And right before you leave, the phone rings. It's your dad. He sounds really scared and tells you that your mom fell down the stairs this morning. They're in the ER, pretty sure she broke her hip. And he wants you to fly or drive to be out to be with them as quickly as you can. But not only do you have your kids and your house to manage, but you also have a really big project at work, in addition to just, daily stressors. What do we do? Well, this is the sandwich generation. So what I mean by that is a person who has a living parent who's 65 or older, and somebody who is either raising a child under the age of 18 or maybe supporting a grown child, and they are pulled in so many directions. So in order to address some of those concerns, our agenda for today is going to walk through and discuss the importance of balancing your personal life with your elderly parents or loved ones' needs. We're going to learn some techniques to manage stress that is associated with being a part of the sandwich generation. And then also walk through some caregiving methods and resources to kind of ease the stress of caring for your elderly parents or loved ones. Okay, so what exactly do I mean by the sandwich generation? Let's sort of break that down a little bit further. This sort of term was first coined by a journalist, Carol Abea, when she found her parents were simultaneously, at the same time, they both had major injuries that left them both at least uh, uh, short-term disabled and in her care while she was trying to support and raise her own family. And from this experience, she realized, hey, I'm not the only one going through this right now. There are sort of three different types of sandwiches or scenarios that people encounter. So perhaps you are traditional, right? You're a traditional sandwich, you're caring for your aging parents and young children at the same time. Maybe you're a club sandwich. You're caring for aging parents, adult children, maybe your grandchildren, or aging parents, young children, and your grandparents. Or an open face sandwich. Anybody involved in at least one level of elder care. So I am interested just to kind of get a vibe check, if you will. If you were to choose one of those that best described your situation, what do you think it would be? Or if you're maybe here just proactively, not involved in any type of care, but you're sort of looking to the future, you can maybe just put, not quite yet. Okay. So a couple people are proactive. Another person said sandwich free. In fact, I am 59 and might be in a sandwich one day. Yeah, maybe you're veering towards your children being in one of these sandwiches, right? So it looks like there's a really good mix. I'm not seeing, huge swaths of one or the other. So important to note that, one of the things that's really tough about this stage of life is that it feels very isolating, right? It can really feel like I'm the only person dealing with this. I'm the only person having this. But just know there are dozens of people that you work with that are in your organization who are going through the exact same thing that you are. Okay. So, with an aging population, with a generation of young adults who are often struggling to get financial independence, the burdens, the responsibilities of middle aged Americans are increasing. So, what did the statistics have to say? Nearly half, 47% of adults in their 40s and 50s have a parent 65 or older and are either raising young children or are financially supporting a grown child who's above the age of 18. About 1 in 7 middle aged adults, that's about 15%, are providing financial support to both sides of that equation, an aging parent as well as children. Now, seeing these stats, you might presume that life in the sandwich generation is super stressful. Makes a lot of sense. Having an aging parent while you're still raising or maybe financially supporting another child presents challenges that isn't really faced by other adults. However, this survey from the Pew Research Foundation found some, I think, pretty interesting that adults in the sandwich generation are just as happy with their lives overall as other adults. 31% say they're very happy with their lives. That's actually a little bit higher than non-sandwich generation happiness levels. And 1% happier are pretty happy, 52 versus 51. Happiness rates, all things considered, are basically the same for adults, whether you are or are not in the sandwich generation. And what does this tell us? Well, there's hope, right? There's hope, and we are not alone, right? With planning and with support, we can maintain happy and healthy lives, but it's not just going to kind of magically happen. It's something that we have to actively choose on a regular basis. I want to walk through three main kind of considerations, if you will, for reflection today. How can we best empower our parents? Right? The goal should really be for our parents or whoever we are supporting, to have the most amount of independence they can. Really working as a team to help parents live the life they want in their later years. Ideally, we want to share control. Now, yeah, you might not like the choices that your parents make. However, as long as they're not cognitively impaired, they're not hurting themselves, they're not hurting others, they are adults, right? They are free to make their own choices, even if we disagree with them. And then don't be afraid to reach out for help and support. There are so many community resources to assist, whether that be friends, family, neighbors, us here as the EAP, your local area agency on aging. Caregiving is one of the hardest things you might do in your life, and that means there is no shame in asking for assistance. You are not intended to walk this journey alone. So, I want you to take a moment to think about your personal experiences with this sandwich generation sort of squish, if you will, the pressures on both sides. Or if you're not quite there yet, if you're here proactively, kind of imagine what that could potentially feel like. And you're welcome to grab some pen and paper or like open up a Word doc or a note on your phone. Or you are also welcome to type your responses into the questions tab, whatever's most comfortable for you. I'm going to put a couple of different reflection questions on the screen. And I'm going to leave them up for a minute. You're not going to hear me talking for about 60 seconds. That is simply to give you some time to reflect, to type, to write down your thoughts. So here's the first one. What challenges have you experienced in trying to balance your personal life with the needs of your aging parent or aging loved one? Again, I'll go quiet. You won't hear me talking. Take about 60 seconds to reflect. All right, let's see what the comments are saying. What are some challenges? We've got time management and prioritizing, my work schedule, stress, not enough time to do everything. I feel challenged in trying to balance travel to see my mom versus anyone else. Time management, trying to juggle time spent to help and do things they need, as well as balancing our own workplace, home life balance. Absolutely. Hold on here. An aging parent who is no longer willing to proactively participate in care decisions or day to day living tasks. Mm. Hard to make plans because you never know when something is going to happen. Yes. My mom always wants me to come home, and it's frustrating and stressful to explain over and over again that I'm in Virginia, she's in Illinois, and it's a difficult trip to make. I have two kids and I just started a new job. Yeah. Let's see here. Balancing time equally between the needs of my parents as well as my kids. Oh, my husband has dementia. Everything is a challenge. Yes, that is a particular type of stress. Absolutely. I am here as a proactive open faced sandwich generation. Thankfully, both my parents are still very capable of caring for themselves. Ooh, but I worry about the future with them living in two different states. Yeah, how is that going to feel sort of pulled in both directions? Parents wanting immediate attention, not understanding work from home means that I'm available. Yes. A sister that doesn't have the same outlook on medical care. I'm going through my own health challenges, balancing work and trying to help my mom. Oh, being on my mom's schedule as opposed to my own. Meeting needs without falling into old parental relationships. Feeling pulled in different directions, or excuse me, different ways, and overwhelmed at times. To the person who asked, how do I post a chat? You did it right there. If you didn't hear the announcement when I started, you're not intended to see other people's responses. That's so people can post anonymously. So you're in the right spot. All right, let's go to our next question. What emotions have you experienced when trying to deal with these challenges? Again, take about 30, 45 seconds. You won't hear me talking. You can jot it down or submit it in the questions tab. Okay, lots of emotions rolling in here. We've got various ones. Um, oh, sorry, it scrolled too quickly. Between laughing and crying, range of frustrations, you just take a pause, you start all over again. Roller coaster, full range of emotions. There are some other challenges with trying to get them to comply with things they need to do related to medicine and self-care that make me mad. I just walk away to relax. Yeah. Overwhelmed, short-tempered, lack of patience, sadness, and frustration. Oh, anger, resentment, sadness, helplessness, overwhelmed, anxiety, stress, and frustration. Feeling overwhelmed, tired, left out from family and friend parties, events, son's college soccer games. I'm overwhelmed and upset knowing that no matter what choice I make, someone will not be happy. Yes. Frustration and worry, trying to focus on acceptance. Sadness, hurt, frustrating, feeling alone. I do have a sibling and they're physically capable of helping, but don't. Oh, that's a whole level, another level of disappointment, right? Okay, so many people are mentioning very common common concerns. Again, hopefully this makes you feel not so alone. Somebody else just mentioned my emotional bank is often overdrawn. Oh, what a great way to describe that feeling. I am constantly worried about what will happen next. My mom has congestive heart failure and pulmonary hypertension. I feel overwhelmed, tired, and sad, especially as an only child. Oh, so sorry that you, as well as your mom, are going through that. That sounds very, very challenging. Okay. So our final question here, what techniques, excuse me, have you used, maybe do you currently access in order to deal with these challenges? Okay, we've got breathing techniques, exercise. Oh, haven't found any. Okay, you're in the right spot. We've got talking with friends and other family members, finding time for myself, prayer, church, asking for help when needed. Don't have any techniques other than taking a break. Yoga, talking about different things with your dog, using humor to keep things light, deep breathing, talking to my husband or my friend, laughing, meditation, breathing, talking with my brother because he's in the same boat as me, exercise, taking just taking a moment, prayer, speaking with friends, hobbies, trying to think positively. Ooh, not, excuse me, try not to borrow trouble, as my parents are still in good health. Yeah, anxiety is sort of taking a future worry about something that might potentially happen and pulling it into the present moment. So, trying, if possible, to avoid that. Planning care strategies, comparing notes after visits or calls with siblings and with relatives. Excellent. Okay. So, this is really important because caregiver stress is real. It very much affects your physical and mental well being. So, I want to walk through these and just kind of take note for yourself. How many of these am I saying yes to? So, are you experiencing sleep problems? Either feeling like you're not getting enough sleep, you are always tired, or like you can't can't get enough, or are getting way too much. Have you noticed a change in eating habits that might result in weight loss or weight gain? Do you feel tired or without energy more often than not, most of the time? Do you have a loss of interest in activities that you used to really like and enjoy? Going out with friends, walking, reading, any other type of activities, hobbies, or interests. Do you find that you are easily irritated, angered, or saddened? And do you experience frequent physical concerns, headaches, stomach aches, or other physical problems that kind of didn't really come about until you were in a sandwich situation? Okay. So the more of these you said yes to, the more likely you're experiencing caregiver stress or fatigue. And it's understandable because there are so many components of senior care responsibilities. So I just want to kind of walk through these, sometimes just sort of seeing, wow, I actually have been doing a lot, or wow, these are things that might be in my future. I need to sort of get a plan in place proactively can be really helpful. So consider who is buying groceries, cooking, cleaning the home, doing laundry for somebody who might need help with these areas. Who is going to speak with doctors or care managers or social workers or specialists to understand what needs to be done from a physical health component? Who is going to help a family member if they need to get dressed or take a shower or take their medicine? Who's going to spend time during their workday handling a crisis, or who's going to be able to drop everything if suddenly a family member is sick and needs to go to the ER or go to a doctor's appointment? Who is going to make those appointments? Who is going to drive them to the doctor, to the drugstore to get their prescriptions? Who might be the designated on-call family member for problems, nights, holidays, or weekends? And then who's going to assist with legal or financial matters? As you can see, this is a lot to take on. So one of the most important areas you can concentrate your focus on is being willing to ask for help. First and foremost, that involves your parents or your loved ones being involved in the process from the beginning, really discovering what exactly they want. What's their vision of their sort of last quarter of life? Make sure you're having conversations with your loved ones throughout the process so you're consistently in touch with their needs and concerns. And whenever possible, do this as early as you can to avoid being forced to make decisions for your parents without knowing their wishes. A cognitive impairment, dementia, severe injury, or disability. When possible, in most cases, the loved one should retain decision making power. And this is really important because there is a greater amount or greater chance for buy-in and for cooperation if your parents or loved ones don't feel like you're swooping in and treating them like a child, but they are an active member of the decision-making process. Now, obviously, this can be overwhelming. So sometimes just sort of getting it out of your brain and on to pen and paper, just listing out tasks allows you to divide up responsibility of care. And it also prevents one member from becoming sort of like the default or the sole caregiver. Research shows caregiving roles tend to sort of default to the eldest daughter's shoulders, often up to 60% of the time. And I'm not saying that should be the case or always the case or how it needs to be, but that is often sort of people's default. And that situation or scenario, as well as many others, can lead to resentment. Also thinking, maybe you have siblings who are out of town. They may feel like they're not contributing or you're not keeping them in the loop. So when we are creating and dividing up tasks, be really specific about who is going to do what and what will be required. This helps to avoid something known as the diffusion of responsibility. This occurs when nobody really knows what to do and just looks to everybody else to step in. There becomes like an expectation that somebody else will step up, and when they don't, we get angry. So be specific. Also think about who to involve, right? Are we um, holding a family conference? Are we including mom and dad's lawyer or estate planner? Is there a trustee? Like who is it that needs to be part of these conversations? And then also thinking about when am I not going to help, right? What are my boundaries and what are my limits going to be? Like, I cannot drop everything during a work day unless unless the house is on fire or you're on the way to an ER. So I will call you on my way home from work every day. That is what you can expect from me. I cannot answer the phone 5 times a day, right? Also, Try to assume positive intent until you can have a conversation with your loved one or maybe with a support person. Sometimes we think we know everything when in fact we don't. So a great note just came in. This person says 10 years ago, when my dad was diagnosed with dementia, we saw an estate planner and dad made decisions with medical and financial power of attorney. I only wish we could have convinced him to move in with us. We planned to prepare a special living space for him so he would feel as independent as he could at the time. Yeah, so consider, um, all of the things that might need to happen and how that could be impacted if there are some cognitive components to keep in mind. Okay. So, what are some additional resources that you could seek help for? One is wherever your parent or loved one is located, they likely have a local area agency on aging. They have the primary task of planning and coordinating programs for older adults in their respective regions. So services could include Meals on Wheels, homemaker assistance, or really anything else to make independent living a viable option for as long as possible. And you can find out more by calling that 800 number or heading over to eldercare.gov. I'm pretty sure they have like a zip code lookup. So you just put in the zip code and are able to see who your closest area agency may be. Geriatric care managers is another phenomenal resource. These are professionals who have backgrounds in nursing, social work, psychology, and they can provide in-home assessments to evaluate an elderly loved one's medical, psychological, financial, or legal concerns and develop a care based on those plans. They can also provide assistance on a continuing basis, and you can head to aginglifecare.org to learn more about those professionals. Let's talk through some other resources, starting with senior centers. Senior centers are intended for active, independent senior citizens. Some offer transportation to and from the center, lunch, exercise, outings. Some have a membership fee, others don't. Sometimes it's just maybe for like a more expensive activity. This is really a great option to keep seniors active and for socialization. Adult daycare is going to be for seniors who need more assistance. Meals, exercises, transportation, hands-on assistance if needed, dementia and Alzheimer's disease programming. Some will accept Medicaid or veterans benefits. Home health care. If you're looking for somebody to come into a home, make sure that the agency is insured and bonded. They can help in all different types of ways, everything from 1 hour a day all the way to 24-hour round-the-clock care and support. And then caregiver support groups, these are typically free. They happen online, over the telephone, or in person. And you can usually get more information by heading to the local area agency on aging. Okay, so in addition to seeking out help and resources, we want to think about how we communicate with our loved ones when we are trying to provide care. So first and foremost, have to treat our elderly parents or loved ones with care and respect, right? Sometimes we take out our anger on people we love. It's misdirected. So try your best to regulate yourself so you are not impatient or giving rude responses. You're clear, concise, and kind, and not chastising your parents for making a quote unquote wrong decision. Our parents didn't choose to become dependent on us, and frankly, we will probably need the same needs someday. Try not to interpret anger try to interpret anger as just how they're trying to communicate their fears, right? There's a lot of losses when it comes to aging, and sometimes that anger is simply fear about what loss is coming next. Respect privacy, right? No matter how much hands-on care is needed, we want to give our loved ones some measure of privacy. Promote self-care, right? We want your loved one to retain some independence. We want our loved one to have a chance of mastery and control. We don't want to create dependency or regression. Whenever possible, give choices. Being able to give your elderly loved one a sense of choice and mastery, this empowers them. This creates this sense of adequacy, that they're going to be able to perform daily tasks to take care of their lives. We also want to talk distinctly and directly. Slow down, have patience, allow your loved one the time to find the word they're searching for. Give clear directions. What are you doing? When will it happen? When will you be back? What's expected? Maybe even consider writing it down. Explain, demonstrate new procedures. This could be instructions, alternatives. Take time to demonstrate it step by step if needed. Try not to bombard them with a ton of questions. This can be really overwhelming. They can often get pretty defensive. Just ask for one response at a time. Try to clearly and distinctly end your conversation. Be clear that the conversation has ended and that it can start up at a later point in time. And give praise, give encouragement, give love. We all need this regardless of our age. Additionally, we need to avoid burning out, because if we are pouring from an empty cup, we're no good to our kids, to our spouse, our partner, and we're really no good for our aging or elderly parents. So consider, are you keeping in touch with your relatives and with your friends? Do you ask for help? Are you specific about that help so friends and family know what to expect? Are you eating properly? Are you getting enough good quality rest? Are you seeking out, finding support through friends or maybe support groups? And have you researched and located care options in your area? And because it is so vitally important, I also want to take a moment to think about your own self care. Know what those resources are, right? Maybe you heard a couple of today you haven't otherwise considered, meal delivery, visiting nurses, in-home assistance. You want to be an educated caregiver. And as aging progresses, new caregiving skills are going to be necessary. Get help. You're not failing as a caregiver by asking others for assistance. So seek out the support of friends, of family, of community resources. Take care of yourself, right? Diet, exercise, water intake, rest, and make time for the things that bring you joy. Lunch with friends, a shopping trip, an hour in your craft room, whatever it may be. Take advantage of community services that are out there, right? Adult daycare, in-home companion services, to make sure your loved one is safe and cared for while you take a well-deserved break. Also recognize all feelings are legitimate, even if we are maybe a little ashamed to share them with others. Try to proactively manage your stress levels. Stress can cause physical problems, changes in behavior. So, if you realize through some of those sort of checklists you have a lot of stress or you're actually pretty burned out, might need to proactively engage in some relaxation techniques or even consult a therapist or a doctor. This is hard, but try to accept changes as they happen. The type of care, the amount of care is going to change over time. So you just need to expect it and plan for it. Speaking of planning, if you haven't already, do the legal and financial planning necessary. Speak with an attorney or an estate planner to discuss legal, financial, and care issues. Make sure your loved one is part of that conversation and decision making if at all possible. Also have to be realistic, right? Grieve your losses, yes, but we can also focus on the positive moments when they happen. Give yourself credit, not guilt. Be kind to yourself, right? You are doing the best that you can. Don't feel guilty that you can't do more. Your loved one needs you, and you are there for them as much as you can be. Allow that to make you feel proud. Know that the care you provide does make a difference, and you are doing the best that you can. So, the final set of resources that I want to make sure you have a little bit more knowledge of is going to be us here as your EAP partner. So, not only do we do sessions like today's, but we also have a vast library of online resources on this topic, as well as hundreds of others available at our website, guidanceresources.com, or you can scan either of those two QR codes to be able to download our mobile app. If you are active on LinkedIn, definitely feel free to give us a follow, posting lots of really helpful content in that space. And also know that you can give us a call around the clock. Just reach out to your HR team or benefits specialist. They'll be happy to get you the best number to reach us. By doing so, you'll be able to chat with a master's level professional who all have training and expertise in areas like counseling, social work, and psychology. So they're going to be really well versed in helping you to basically triage your problem or concern and then make sure you're getting connected to the right type of resource moving forward. That could be a mental health provider, attorney, financial expert, work life balance expert, or an elder care specialist. So I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes chatting through what our elder care specialists can do, because a lot of people aren't even aware this is a free and confidential service that is provided to you. So, in addition to finding you 3 to 5 local, verified, and customized referrals, we have elder care as well as child care specialists who can provide you and your family with phone based consultations. Now, elder care specialists can address a variety of concerns, and the list is long, so I'm just going to read through them so you can kind of see the depth of what we offer. So, we can answer questions and do research and provide recommendations on the following: home health care, transportation needs, Meals on Wheels, independent assisted or nursing home care, hospice, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease care, mobility issues, senior driving concerns, caregiver stress and coping tools, Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits, as well as long term care insurance. Nursing home referrals also come with quality reports and ratings. So you are able to schedule a conference call consultation with all impacted family members. So you don't have to kind of play telephone if you would like as well. And again, all of our services are completely free of charge. They're all completely confidential. And they are also um, not just available for you, like as an employee, but also for any member of your immediate family household. So, what I mean by that is anybody who is related to you and lives under your roof. So, maybe your spouse or partner, for example, is struggling with their parents. They're not an employee, but they are a member of your family. They live under your roof, so they can call and get access to all of those free resources, whether it's a legal question, an elder care specialist, if they want some free counseling services, as long as they're related to you and you share a home address. Also, if you perhaps have a son or daughter who is college age and they're probably living closer to their campus most of the year, they're also still covered as long as they are considered to be your dependent. So with that, excuse me, we have a little bit of time remaining. So if you do have a question about any of the topics, the techniques we talked about today, or any of those EAP components, please feel free to go ahead and open up your questions tab to ask. And also, if you didn't see this pop up, thank you for our organizers who mentioned. Also free for active employees and household family members through us here at Guidance Resources is, I think it's COA, K-O-A. I think that's how you pronounce it, COA Care 360. So this is a way to access self-guided, clinically validated mental health resources confidentially. It's also on demand. It helps to build emotional resilience, deal with mental health challenges like sleep issues or anxious thoughts as they pop up. Just really helps with overall well-being. And then she did include a link to that. So pull up the chat if you don't have that, if you'd like to grab that hyperlink. Great additional note there. Any questions I can do my best to answer today? Okay. While those maybe are being submitted, just a couple of additional reminders. One, this is going to be sort of last call for the materials. So if you would like to grab the slides that I used today, just click your materials icon and then double click that PDF that pops up. That will let you save or print or bookmark. And then the session today was recorded. So if you would like to rewatch this, if you'd like to share it with somebody, maybe like, a sibling or a colleague who couldn't make it to the live session, just wait about a day or two. Usually takes about 24 to 48 hours. And then you will be sent an email with a link to the video recording. You are welcome to share that. The more people who have this info, the better. Okay. Good question. Is there a phone number that goes along with guidance resources? Yes. However, sometimes organizations have more than one. So I didn't want to put one on the screen and then it not be right for you because I don't know, you're a teacher and this was for public works employees or something. So if our organizers by chance know if there is one number to use, feel free to share that out. But otherwise, just give HR a call. You might also be able to find that on your BEWell resources site as well. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. So they have, hold on one moment. I want to make sure this goes out. Oh, no, she did it. She just put it to everybody. Thank you, Stephanie. More info on guidance resources at the website. I was right. It is at yourbenefitsatthebeach.com. And then the phone number is in the chat. It's 866 365 0793. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but that is answered by a live person, not like a robot, not no AI. It's a real live master's level professional, 24/7. We staff at nights, holidays, weekends, 3 a.m., Christmas Eve, doesn't matter. So I really recommend if you have your cell phone handy, just go ahead and grab it and put us in as a contact. It's really, I just think peace of mind to know, if stuff is happening at nights or weekends or, middle of a holiday weekend, I know I can chat with somebody and get connected to necessary resources for me or for my family. And again, that number is in the chat, or you can write it down. It is 866 365 0793. And unfortunately, we are not able to unmute participants. So if you raised your hand because you have a question, you're going to need to type that into the questions tab instead. And I'll hang out for another minute in case you need to type that out. Okay, I'll give it another 20 seconds or so in case somebody is rapidly finishing up their thought. Um, while that's happening, I just want to thank everybody so very much for your time, for your attention, for your engagement. Hopefully you are walking away with some new knowledge as well as some new approaches to maybe use moving forward. And again, you don't have to do this on your own. Hopefully that's what you've gotten from today, as well as other nuanced items. But you don't have to do it alone. We're here. Seems like your organization has a ton of great resources as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to get the help that you and your family need. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day and be well.